Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to Gloomhaven, shall we, in Guildmaster mode, and we're going to go over and try to get the blade in the night. So we're going to walk over here, try to unlock our good buddy. The trainer points you in the direction of a ruined crypt on the outskirts of town. Dead bandits littered the area, many with knives still embedded in their corpses. That's a waste of a knife. It's clear they didn't see their attacker coming. Alright, let's enter the dungeon. Meet the scoundrel. She is incredibly nimble and mobile, not to mention able to combo off huge amounts of melee damage when things line up just right. Let's help her out of this sticky situation. Firstly, you need to kill 3 archers in this round before they attack. You'll certainly need something that can hit more than one target at a time, and this kind of bullseye, the concentric circles, is the target icon. Alright, so indeed, they're giving us a clue. So here we are, we're the scoundrel, and we're fighting bandit archers. Now again, it's important to just restate these things as we learn, but all of these archers will go on, they're doing the exact same thing, and they will act on the same turn. Well, they'll act on the same turn. At least I believe they're all going to be using the same ability. So, what we need to do is try to act before them. And we've got throwing knives, which, if you look at the top half of throwing knives, first of all, it goes in initiative 10, which is, like, incredibly fast. It does 2 damage, it has a range of 3, and it can affect 2 targets if they're within range. Now, it's worth mentioning, this means distinct targets, so you cannot target the same enemy twice with this ability, for example. And then we get an experience when we do this. Now, also, let's go ahead and take a look at our modifier deck, and we see we only have +0, so +2 will be enough. We could kill these very easily, and that being said, we need to kill 3 of them. So we have a top half that is range 3, target 2, damage 2. So what's our bottom half going to be? Well, this is pull 2, range 3. And then this is attack 3, but we need to be adjacent. There's no range on it. So you'll see that the pull can be used against this target, this archer, because we can pull them into this trap, which will do 3 damage. So kind of a fun little technique here. So we're going to just select these 2 cards and use the fastest one first, because we need to go first here. They're going to go on the 29. Yep, they're all going to do the same thing. And now I'm just going to use my throwing knives, and when I select this top half, remember again, just paying attention, do not go fast at this portion. I've lost and had to restart or died because of moving too quickly in this game. If you select the wrong half and then you commit that and you don't fully plan things out, you can go to do your next thing and be like, oh my gosh, I can't do what I need to do. So just be patient right here and just move slowly. So with this, we see that the bottom half is lined up, and that is what we want. Pulling these guys does nothing. There's no environmental obstacle or threat in the way that will do any damage to them. So we're just going to target 1, and you'll see that their hex turns red. It has some kind of like flames coming out of it. Well, the flames are actually already there. And then we're going to target another one. And now they're both targeted. Their health bars are flashing, the arrow above them, and the skull, meaning they should die. And we confirm targets. Throw. Throw. Toast. Now, we need to do the bottom half of this card. And so we're going to pull, and this pull ability, now the pull with 2 means we can pull 2 hexes, and we can target this archer, and then we will confirm the target. So first you confirm the target, and then you say, where do you want to pull? Now, obviously pull is towards you, so we're going to make it, and it doesn't have to necessarily go in a straight line. You can align this how you want, and we're going to set them on this trap. So you see how it kind of like turns the corner? That's okay. We're going to pull them through this, basically. And they get dusted. End of turn. Ha! Feels good picking off multiple targets in a single turn, doesn't it? One last objective. Loot at least 5 piles of gold around this room. A tip for you. Sometimes the top half of a card allows you to move, too. Loot abilities pick up all of the gold within the radius specified by the value, so you work out where you need to stand and get looting. Okay. So, either way, we only have 1 card left, so we need to take a short rest. And we're going to burn this. Unfortunately, I don't really want to burn move 2 and loot every hex, but we will. So, we want to pick up this. Okay. So, you could see that we have a loot 2 right here on the bottom half. And then on the top half, we have quick hands, which allows us to move and attack. Now, whenever you have something like that, you don't need to actually attack. You can just move and then cancel the attack. So radius 2, if we stand here, we won't get everything. But if we stand here... Oh, we only need to... Okay, I made this mistake before as well. You only need to loot 5 tiles. So if I, for example, move here and just ignore this and loot 2, we will get 6 tiles of gold. So what we're going to do is just select throwing knives first, and then quick hands like this. And then we're going to use quick hands first to move, and we're going to move to this tile. And then we're going to just skip attack or push T. And then from here, we'll just click loot 2. This does burn the card, but it doesn't matter. We're in the tutorial, so just click it. And then it will highlight all of the tiles or the hexes that you will be looting from. And you just click confirm action. And bam, we got 12 gold. Awesome. And the scoundrel's turn, spacebar. Victory. Nice. Let me just take care of that gold for you. For your assistance in this scenario, the scoundrel has agreed to join the guild. That means we've got enough mercenaries now for a proper mission. All right. The first thing we should do as a guild is reestablish a trade route with Gibbet Hill to the west. We've been having a small problem with bandits in the woodland en route, but with the brute and scoundrel to assist, that's nothing that should cause you any trouble. It'll give you some much-needed experience on the job and allow me to get some new items in stock once the way is cleared. Go knock some bandit heads together. Okay, so this is something that's really important. I was going to do this anyway, but I'd never played Guildmaster, so I didn't know it would do this. You can actually choose more than 2 mercenaries, especially if you go the campaign route. You can do a tutorial mission to unlock several new different types of mercenaries, and then you can make a party of 4, for example, to have a rounded party. Now, that is what I did in my Let's Play, because I love parties of 4, I love being well-rounded. However, it was pointed out to me, and I agree with this, especially for a new player. I think it's fine. You can have a group as small as 2 in this game, and I think it's fine and probably preferable to actually start with a small group, because it's less, and this is what one person on stream commented, and I love this quote, less of a brain drain. Because if you have 4 people in the party, and you're trying to think of every single move that they can do, and coordinate everybody's attacks and initiatives, that's a lot more to deal with. But moreover, the game scales its difficulty and enemy count based on how many people you bring on the mission. So if you bring 4, there's going to be more enemies to make it more challenging. Just like if you're playing the tabletop version, it just scales based on how many players you have. So with 2, there's going to be less enemies because we only have 2 people, and there's less for us to have to manage and master as we're learning the game. So this is great, and I like that the Guildmaster mode does this for us. We don't really have a choice. But if you're playing campaign instead, I did 4, and it was okay, but you run into the 2 problems. Number 1, it's a lot to think about, and number 2, from what I've heard from everyone, the initial missions on the campaign are incredibly challenging. So they're a little bit difficult, and you're making them more difficult by having 4. So maybe just go with 2, and that's what I would recommend. All right, let's go here to toss a coin to your hangman, or witcher. They'll value you plenty. Bandits are blocking the road to Gibbet Hill, and it's up to you to drive them away. All right, so we can unlock this location. Now look at this on the road. Narrator, the road is deserted as you make your way towards Gibbet Hill. Trading in the area has effectively stopped for many months now, with so few daring to venture along the main highways. As you make your way along the trail, wending its way through a wooded grove, the crack of a twig snapping underfoot pierces the silence. You hear rustling in the undergrowth, getting louder as its source makes its way toward you. Alright, so we have to enter a dungeon, which means a fight. Now, normally, and I don't know where these appear in Guildmaster mode, but when you're traveling on the world map or even in town, there are events that you can encounter, and you don't do a fight, you do kind of like a choose from a set of options, and there will be consequences or rewards based on your choice that affect the overall world and you immediately. But I think right now they're kind of not putting those in, they're random. Alright, so we're just going to enter the dungeon. Looks like we got ambushed. Somebody failed their sneak roll. Right, this is your first proper fight. Looks like the 2 clearings with a couple of bandits each. Or 2 clearings, rather. Just remember what I've taught you and don't enter the second clearing until you are ready. You could change your character's starting positions this time by clicking the white hexes, so choose a formation that suits you before starting your first turn. And most of the time you get to pick their starting location within a small range. Now the advice that he just gave you is amazing, which is do not open this until you've cleared the room, most probably, because you're going to be inviting more enemies into the fray. By the way, if you're struggling to make out objects and enemies in the undergrowth, you can press to highlight them. You can also see the turn order of the monsters of class the same way. This will give you the same initiative from the card drawn from their class, but the actual order per monster on that class's turn is determined by their ID numbers. Lower numbers act first. So if they're all the same, and you want to know which one of this group of the same will act first, you can look at the ID number. Okay. So tab is the key to highlight. So if you hold tab, it will show you this is an obstacle in orange, that's a trap in red, here's enemies right there, the blue is the door, and the white hexes are tiles that we can actually attempt to move on. Now the obstacle does not allow us to move. So now, we have a choice to make. What do we want to do here? You see the ID number, this is 3, this is 5, I believe, in parentheses, so this one will act first. Okay, so we've got the brute, and this is kind of, I don't know, you can't like drag and drop them. You click them, and then you click the tile you want them to go on. So I'm going to move them both forward for now, but let's calculate where we want them to be. So I want the brute to move in and kind of, be a tank. And you want to position them such that they can actually both take an action this turn. So I need to at least move 3 with the brute unless I use a ranged attack, but I probably want to move in. In general, Gloomhaven is on a clock, and you'll see that as we go, because every time we rest, every time we have to shuffle the deck, we have to burn a card, which means our deck gets progressively smaller, and once we have no cards, we lose. So you can't just stall forever and hang back forever. You kind of need to move forward a bit so that you can get through, because you don't want to spend turns just having to move through an empty room. You want to make progress toward the enemy, unless it's strategically not an option for you. Okay. So I can do my amazing disarm attack if I want. But let's see, how much can I move? Okay, so grab and grow lets me move 4. I always call it grab and grow for some reason. Grab and go, all right? It's like you go to the convenience shop. So I can do this and this, and I can easily move up and attack. But do I have a better attack? Well, I could do this, but again, the upper half of Shield Bash here burns. In the first room, I generally don't want to burn cards. I like to save these for when I know it's getting close to the end and the enemies are a little bit harder. That being said, it's just 2 rooms, so, maybe you could use it, but I'm not going to. I also have a ranged attack right here, which I could use, but I can't use it right now without moving. I have Skewer, which does 3, Leaping Cleave, which does 3, again, Overwhelming Assault, but it exhausts or burns, and I can do Balanced Measure as well, which attacks for X, where X is the number of hexes that we've moved. So I would move 3 and attack for 3 and get an experience, which is good, but it's very slow, and I would be using 2 really slow cards. Now, this would prevent them from attacking. However, I might want to get experience. So there is an argument to make for just walking up and using Skewer, or using something that can push this enemy, but I don't believe I have a top half push card. Not that I see. I have a bottom half push. I could move 3 and then push and then actually throw a spare dagger and kill that target altogether. That's actually not bad. Now, the only thing about that, though, is, let's just say I queued this up. Spare dagger, and then I wanted to move 3 and then push the enemy into the trap. I would be going on a 27. So when you kind of lock in which actions you want to take, you see it's 2 out of 2 for the Brute, but the Scoundrel still gets to pick. And then once I picked with her, I get to say, okay, I'm set. I want to confirm. But the important thing is I see 27 here. Now, if I act first with the Scoundrel, I have to anticipate that she will actually go before this guy gets to do that, and this enemy will be there. So do I want to do that? What can I do with the Scoundrel? Well, the Scoundrel is great at hitting people, but she's actually way better at hitting people if she's adjacent to an ally, or if the enemy, rather, is adjacent to an ally, so she can, like, backstab or flank and things like that. I do have throwing knives, which are great, but I would need to get really close to use my throwing knife. So I would need to, like, move way up and then use a throwing knife. I also have a swift bow, though. So I could use swift bow, and I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll try, and yeah, I can take, like, backstab, for example, go first, and then swift bow. Now, I'm not going to swift bow this enemy because I will have disadvantage being adjacent. So once I've committed my turn, I'm ready to hit selection. But before you do this, go back through. Walk through your game plan. So what are you trying to do here? With the Brute, my plan is to walk 1, 2, 3 right here, and I'm going to move using the movement on Overwhelming Assault, because I move here, and then I'm going to push this enemy into the trap. And then after that, I'm going to spare dagger them because they will be at range and finish the job. The trap will do 2 damage, rather, and spare dagger is going to do 3 unless... Oh, okay. Well, it's not guaranteed. So the deal is I want to do spare dagger, and it should kill, but we could draw -1, which would still kill, but if we draw -2 or nil, they will not die, and that's just how it goes. So you can't really plan around that unless you want to back up, like, as a contingency plan and have the Scoundrel try to finish it. But the problem with that is, if I want to do that, if I want to ensure that an enemy is dead, I would need to have her go slower. She's going first right now, so I could see the outcome of the Brute attack. And this is a lot of the strategy in this game. It's like figuring out which sequence you want to do and how you want to, cover redundancies of, like, well, what happens if they don't die? Do I want to deal with that, or do I want to just go with my plan and roll with the punches? So her plan is to move 1, 2, 3, 4 up here, and then attack with the bow 1, 2, 3 to this target. So I'm going to end selection. Now they're moving on a 14. This actually changes my plan, unfortunately, because even though 27 is fast, it's going faster than this person. So I don't know if we're going to get to do what I want it to do, which is with the Brute, and that's Gloomhaven. Like, I planned that, but I don't know when they're going to go. I tried to go fast and do, like, an optimal round, but because I didn't choose, my roar to attack at 10, they are instead going to get to go before us. So now, do I want to change my plan? I could just move up and attack right here, but I'm going to change my plan. And the reason I'm changing my plan is I could move, ahead. Well, I can't even move up and hit them with backstab, which is a good thing. And the reason is because I don't want to move the scoundrel up and be within range of both of their attacks. So let's mouse over them. They're going to move 1 and attack at range 3 for 1. So they can hit us if we move here, but this one can't. So I could simply pass with the scoundrel and take no damage. No, that's not true. They would get to choose. So this bandit could move forward and hit both of us. So in that case, I'm just going to move ahead and use swift bow. And I'm actually going to move ahead kind of far because I want to get up there. But I don't want to move so far that I can't get the benefit of, that I have to shoot at disadvantage. And this will not put me in range of being hit by this bandit archer. They move forward and they have a range of 1, 2, 3. So I'm safe right here. So I'll just kind of confirm the movement here. Skip movement with T. And then we're going to attack with swift bow right there. Now, there is a chance that we draw a +1 or something and we just kill. So that could have happened. It did not. So they're not going to move at all. Now look at that. They drew -1 and they only do 1 damage. So that's amazing. However, they're putting down traps, which is annoying. Now, what's cool though is we can actually continue our plan. So because this person didn't move, we're going to move up and push this enemy into the trap to kill. And then from here, 1, 2, 3, we can actually still do spare dagger. So I'm going to move here. Confirm movement. I do have the boots, by the way, to extend movement if I needed to. And I'm going to click this target to push. I'm going to confirm the target, and I'm going to push them right there. And I'm going to... Oh, you have to... It has to go for 2. Right, so I go here, and then I'll push them all the way over there. You're going to get 2 traps. There you go. But they die on the first one, so they don't even actually make it to the next hex. And then now I'm going to throw this dagger right there. Okay. So +0, so we did get an experience. End the turn. Right. So now we want to do a few things right here. So I'm going to select the scoundrel first. The scoundrel actually, let's see if I can find their ability for this. They have this ability to just straight disarms a trap, which is great. And I might do this. The reason it's great is because it gives you 2 experience. And experience helps you level up your characters, which gives them more hit points, access to better cards and things like that. So this is very nice to do. Now, of course, because it's Gloomhaven, the enemies do scale up a little bit when you level, but it's still definitely worth it. So I get 2 experience if I want to do that. But then what's my next move? What? I'm going to move 5, loot 1, move 5, loot 2. I could range 3 pull, but now they're out of range. So instead, what we're going to do is probably just move 5. We don't need to do much damage right here at all. And I could get a gold pile. I need to start preparing to move into this next chamber. So I'm going to go with Thief's Knack right here. And then what's my move 5? Well... yeah, I'll do Venom Shiv just because I don't want to waste Flanking Strike at the moment because it's so fast. I kind of want to save that. And then can you get in there and destroy? If I take Provoking Roar, it goes at 10. And then pretty much any card, like Grab and Go, can move me here. I will loot this gold pile, and then bap, it should be over. So I'm just going to do this. We don't know what they're going to do, of course. Alright, and they're going slower than us, which is exactly what we wanted, but it really doesn't matter after the Brute, because the Brute is just going to walk up here, confirm the movement, attack, skip movement T, attack this one, As long as we don't get null, well, we got +1. Okay, end the turn. And we'll pick up the gold. 2 gold. Now, you will disarm a trap right here. Confirm. Get some experience, and then move all the way over here. End it. Okay, so now it's a new round. It is time to open this door. So, you could see the room is going to be kind of like horizontal. The preview that we see, these ghosted hexes like out here. And we definitely want the brute to go in first. So I'm going to try to find his biggest move. It's probably leaping cleave right here. Oh, this is move 6, but it burns it, so I don't want that. I'm going to do skewer and leaping cleave. Now, the nice thing is, if you haven't opened a door, you don't really have to go super fast because you don't care about their initiative until you open it. So you can kind of set yourself up. And I'm actually going to set up... I need to go slower because I want the brute to open the door. So I'm going to do it like this, which is, you know, kind of perhaps perverse, but it makes her go really slow. So then I'm going to move up. And this is 1, 2, 3, which will use all of the movement. So I think I'm actually going to use my boots of striding and then move here. And open the room. And we see that there's 2 bandits in here, and they're going to go on 30, which means they will go right after me. So the question is, you know, what are they doing? Well, you can now, when you get into this situation, like once you've already done the selection planning phase, you can see what they're going to do, and they're going to move 3 and attack 1. So that means they can actually reach her. This one can. But I'm going to be honest with you, that's actually okay. 1, 2, 3. So even if I moved up here, if I moved here to attack, they could both reach me. But they're only doing 1 damage, and this is the end of the road. So I'm not actually concerned at all about this. They do have a little bit more health. They have 5 health. But I'm just going to walk in and take some damage. Okay. And then we're going to just skewer this guy right here. Unfortunately, we got -1, but that's okay. Now they get to go. So they get to go because their initiative is lower than mine. So they moved in. They're going to hit me for 1, but I can just use my shield. And by using my shield, then I take nothing. So they actually got a -1, so they didn't even hurt me. Now, so you could see who can I hit. I do not have line of fire to hit that target, so I need to move in to be able to do that. So I'm going to move 1, 2, I guess. And then we'll throw the knife. 1 and 2. Confirm. Ooh, she got +1 and killed that guy. +1 and almost killed that guy. How about that? End turn. Okay. So now, what we can do here is focus on trying to get some gold before we kill this idiot. So, she's the best at doing that. But all of my loot I used on the last round. So I don't have any more abilities to loot. Now, I could take a short rest and try to get them back. And I'm going to get really greedy and do that. Now, normally I would never take a short rest with 3 left, but I'm going to win right here, so I want to do this. And this is actually the card I don't want to burn. So we're going to redraw and burn backstab. I want the loot too, because if I stand here, I will be able to loot all 3 of these piles. So what we're going to do is, where's my loot 2? Throwing knives right here. So we want to do that. but then I'm looking for some kind of attack on the top that is, yeah, swift bow. So I'm going to do throwing knives and swift bow. Wait. No, I can't do that. I lied. Loot 2, I need to move. So her whole turn is going to be dedicated to just looting. So I'm going to do this really fast then. And then Brute can just... Shield Bash is a great one to use because it burns, but I don't care. We're about to win, and it gives 2 experience, and it's super fast. So we'll just, you know, select it like this. Okay, great. So what we want to do then is move right here. And then... Oh, I loved it. Okay. So I was explaining everything so confidently. I made a massive mistake. I chose 2 bottom halves. I thought it was genius. It's not genius. It's me being a noob and making a mistake. So I moved fast because I was excited. I thought I was going to get to loot, but no, loot is on the bottom. So that is where we're committed. Now, I can instead, because I blundered, move over here and pick up this gold pile. So we get some gold. And then we will throw a knife right here. I'm going to try to kill. And we didn't, but it's actually better. Because we get 1 experience and we pick up some money. Now, we don't get these gold piles, but let that be a lesson to you. If you move quickly and you're not thinking fully when you're remembering top and bottom, you will... I mean, I've done this so many times. Choose 2 tops or 2 bottoms and not realize it and then be like, oh... What I wanted to do just is not possible. So anyway, I'm going to do Shield Bash on this guy right here. And get the 2 experience. And he's gone. And now I can actually... move and get some gold. So this is what? 2 gold, 2 gold. Let's just see if it's all equal. It appears to be. So I'll just take this. And I'm going to actually use this. It burns it, but we get experience. I'll just walk right there. Confirm movement. And I'm going to skip movement and end the turn. And get 2 experience and 2 gold. Bam. Victory. Return to the map. Quest complete. So now we've unlocked Gibbet Hill. Claim rewards. Ah, the joyous sound of gold coins in the pocket. But what to invest it in? Perhaps I should get some minor mana potions back in stock. It's about time you learned about the fundamentals of magic. I know a spell weaver who should be able to show you a thing or two. And last I heard from her, she was researching a stone circle in a forest nearby Gibbet Hill. With all these monsters about, we ought to check she's okay. All right. So, you know, I'm really liking this Guildmaster mode. It does a smoother job of narrating the tutorial process. So now we are going to go and try and unlock the Spellweaver. So we have a 3rd mercenary type that we can choose from as part of our mercenary guild. Everyone, I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. So we've got the bandit, we have unlocked, a trade route, and now we're looking to get a Spellweaver. I'll check you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.